Chrisean thought she had it all figured out, supporting Blueface in prison, staying loyal, even sacrificing everything. But the moment he got out, everything changed. He ignored her, humiliated her, and got involved with everyone else, and now rumors say he's expecting a child with someone else. Chrisean's obsession spiraled. Instagram live rants, voodoo rituals, even curses. Fans are asking, is this heartbreak, revenge, or something darker? And the chaos doesn't stop. Each post, each confrontation, keeps this drama escalating. You won't believe what happened next. Stay tuned. Chrisean thought she had it all figured out, that Blueface would be hers once he got out of prison. But things didn't go that way at all. Instead, he spent his freedom humiliating her, being violent, and getting involved with everyone else except her. Right now, he's reportedly with Hazel E., who's around the same age as Carissa. And if that wasn't enough, rumors are swirling that he's gotten Jaden pregnant again. It's no wonder Chrisean has been a mess. She's gone on Instagram Live, wishing harm on him, and even dabbling in voodoo, just to get back at him. She supported him while he was in prison, covering his court fees and staying in her own house, only for him to come out and completely ignore her. Chrisean was clearly obsessed. She even got a tattoo of him on her face. She stayed with him, moved into his house, and stuck around even after he shared private photos of her son online. When Blueface first got out, Chrisean clung to him constantly, showing up on every live stream. But it was clear he wasn't interested at all. His body language said it all. He was avoiding hugs, dodging kisses, and making it obvious he didn't want her there. Now, Blueface seems completely detached. His interactions with Chrisean are no longer driven by any sense of affection or love. Instead, it feels like he's engaging with her either for the sake of their child or for money. There's no warmth, no genuine connection, just an almost transactional relationship. Every action, every conversation seems calculated, leaving Chrisean frustrated, hurt, and desperate for the attention she once thought was hers. This detachment has only fueled her obsession with him, pushing her into a cycle of emotional turmoil that has affected everyone around her. Chrisean's fixation on Blueface reached its peak with the infamous fight involving Jaden. Blue, trying to foster some semblance of normalcy, took Jaden and Carissa to a game center for what was supposed to be a peaceful family outing. Importantly, he deliberately left Chrisean out, signaling clearly that he didn't want her involved in this moment. But Chrisean, driven by her need to be present and perhaps unwilling to accept her exclusion, tracked them down with her son. Her arrival sparked immediate tension. Jaden, understandably frustrated by Chrisean's intrusion, confronted her, and the confrontation quickly escalated into a physical altercation. This incident reignited public attention, demonstrating that the drama surrounding these relationships was far from over. The situation has since devolved into a chaotic mess. Chrisean's persistent obsession, Blueface's cold indifference, and the lingering tensions with Jaden have turned the entire scenario into a full-blown circus. Social media feeds are flooded with clips, comments, and theories about every interaction, fueling speculation and adding to the drama. Fans and followers are left witnessing a highly charged mix of jealousy, resentment, and unresolved feelings, and the public nature of these conflicts only magnifies their intensity. It's a story that refuses to remain private, spilling into live streams, posts, and endless online debates. Following the altercation with Jaden, Chrisean's tensions didn't end. She also confronted Blueface directly. The confrontation began when Blue took to social media to call out both Chrisean and Jaden for allegedly abandoning him while he was in prison. In his statement, he gave Jaden some credit, acknowledging that she sent a small amount of money during the early weeks of his incarceration. But when it came to Chrisean, he claimed she had left him for dead. The distinction between their actions added fuel to the fire, highlighting the difference in perceived loyalty and commitment. Blue made it clear that anyone thinking they could return to a shared home with him was completely mistaken. He explained that when he went to prison, he believed he had a girlfriend waiting for him, a stable partner who would support him through the difficult months. Instead, he returned to find that nothing had been locked in. Nothing was secure. This revelation not only fueled his anger and resentment but also cemented his resolve that his baby mamas would never again have the opportunity to abandon him. He was seeking stability, loyalty, and seriousness in his relationships, and he made it clear that neither Chrisean nor Jaden had provided the support he expected. Chrisean, of course, was deeply affected by his words. While Blueface framed his comments as a matter of principle and justice, they struck at Chrisean personally. Her feelings of hurt, rejection, and betrayal were compounded by the public nature of the accusations. She had once believed in a mutual bond, a shared understanding built over time, and to have that challenged so openly was both humiliating and infuriating. The anger she felt was not just about Blueface's indifference but about the way her loyalty, sacrifices, and care had been dismissed and ignored. In the midst of this, Chrisean's response demonstrated just how complicated her emotional investment had become. She couldn't simply step away or accept the status quo. Her need for recognition, validation, and some form of justice drove her into continued confrontation. Every attempt by Blueface to assert boundaries or maintain distance only seemed to intensify her reactions, creating a feedback loop of tension and emotional upheaval. Fans observing the situation saw this as a dramatic, almost inevitable escalation, given the unresolved emotions, history, and ongoing personal stakes involved. The dynamic between Chrisean and Blueface also underscores the broader challenges of co-parenting, loyalty, and romantic attachment in highly publicized relationships. The blend of personal history, unresolved resentment, and external scrutiny makes any interaction a potential flashpoint. The tension isn't just about personal feelings, it's amplified by public perception, social media commentary, and ongoing speculation from fans and followers. Every action becomes symbolic, every confrontation a storyline, and every post a potential trigger for further conflict. Ultimately, the story of Chrisean and Blueface is a cautionary tale of attachment, obsession, and the complexities of human relationships under the pressure of public scrutiny. Blueface's detachment, Chrisean's fixation, and the unresolved issues with Jaden form a volatile mix, creating a situation that seems almost impossible to de-escalate. Each interaction, whether online or in person, carries the weight of history, emotion, and expectation, leaving all parties involved navigating a minefield of past grievances and current tensions. As the saga continues, fans can only watch, comment, and speculate. But for those involved, the drama is intensely real. The emotional stakes are high, the conflicts deeply personal, and the consequences significant, not just for their relationships, but for the children involved and the family dynamics surrounding them. In the midst of the chaos, one thing remains clear. The situation is far from resolved, and the unfolding events continue to captivate, frustrate, and shock anyone paying attention. Jaden didn't respond, but Chrisean fired back. She posted photos of bruises, claiming that Blueface had put hands on her. She also called him out for leaving her to be with another woman, which clearly added to her frustration. She expressed her anger by saying she left a cheating man and refused to pay his bills while he cheated, pointing out that he stomped on her for speaking up about how he had treated her and their son. She shared that he had embarrassed her child online for clout, denied his son, and never gave him a fair chance. Chrisean made it clear that she had thought he had changed, but he hadn't, he was just pretending. Chrisean's hurt ran much deeper than anyone could easily see. This wasn't just ordinary heartbreak or frustration, it was a mixture of betrayal, anger, and disappointment that had been building for years. Much of her anger centered on her son, not solely because she loved and cared for him as a mother, but because the rejection she experienced from Blueface was intensely personal. It wasn't just about him ignoring her or treating her poorly. It was the fact that someone she trusted and had supported, someone she believed would be there for her after all she had done for him, completely dismissed her and her sacrifices. Every effort she had made, every sleepless night, every act of loyalty, seemed to have been taken for granted, leaving her feeling abandoned and powerless. Chrisean's frustration was compounded by the fact that Blueface failed to give her the attention and recognition she felt she deserved after his release from prison. She had stood by him during his lowest points, covering court fees, maintaining her own life to make sure he had some semblance of support, and yet he returned to the world seemingly indifferent to her sacrifices. The pain of this personal rejection cut deep, and she found herself grappling with feelings of anger, sadness, and humiliation all at once. To an outsider, it might have seemed like simple drama, but to Chrisean, it was a profound wound that affected her emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Unable to contain her emotions, Chrisean took to Instagram Live while at the airport, a setting that highlighted the intensity of her vulnerability. She cried openly, her voice breaking as she unleashed months of pent-up pain and frustration. In her live session, she cursed Blueface, not with a casual rage of a fleeting argument, but with a raw, emotional intensity that revealed just how deeply she had been affected. She even went so far as to wish him dead, comparing the fate she hoped for him to the tragic death of her ex, Ronnie. This was not a calculated threat but an expression of the depth of her emotional turmoil, her grief, anger, and sense of betrayal spilling out into the public sphere in a way that made it impossible for anyone to ignore the magnitude of her feelings. Even as she vented, Chrisean tried to articulate her perspective on the situation. She emphasized that attempting to reconcile with Blueface would be a grave mistake for both herself and her son. In her eyes, the past could not be undone, and the harm he had caused could not simply be erased by a change of heart or words. She insisted that he should have remained in prison, implicitly acknowledging that the pattern of behavior he had shown both before and after incarceration was deeply harmful and not to be tolerated. This was not merely bitterness, it was a protective measure, a way to shield herself and her child from further pain. In addition to expressing her anger and disappointment, Chrisean turned to her faith as a source of strength and guidance. She asked God to protect both her and her son, calling for angels to surround them and offer divine guidance. Her prayers reflected a desire not only for immediate safety but for a broader sense of purpose. She wanted her life and experiences, including the hardships and injustices she had endured, to have a lasting impact. She hoped that by seeking divine intervention, she could create a positive influence that would resonate across generations, using her struggles as a way to inspire, guide, and educate others facing similar challenges. Throughout her live session and public statements, Chrisean made it clear that her anger toward Blueface did not stem from malice or a desire to harm him personally. She repeatedly emphasized that she had always been hurt by him, but had never acted with the intent to hurt him in return. Her actions, she implied, were a response to the repeated disregard, neglect, and abuse she had endured. This distinction was important to her, as it highlighted the difference between reactive pain and intentional cruelty. She was asserting her own moral clarity even amid the chaos, showing that her response was rooted in self-preservation and the defense of her child rather than simple revenge. Chrisean also took decisive steps to protect her son from further exposure to the drama. She refused to allow anyone to see him, setting clear boundaries to safeguard his well-being and privacy. She instructed people to stop contacting her, signaling that she would no longer tolerate intrusion or interference from outsiders attempting to exploit or escalate the situation. Her determination to control the environment around her son reflected a deep maternal instinct, an understanding that, despite the chaos of the adult world, she had the power and responsibility to shield him from harm. Finally, fans and onlookers have been buzzing with theories about Chrisean and her influence over Blueface, with speculation reaching almost unbelievable levels. Social media is full of people trying to make sense of the bizarre and sometimes chaotic events surrounding their relationship. Some viewers are genuinely perplexed, noticing a strange dynamic between Chrisean and Blueface and wondering if something more than ordinary tension is at play. One fan even asked publicly, "Is Chrisean and Blueface under a spell? They both seem off, like their minds are gone." This comment perfectly captures the confusion and curiosity swirling around their drama. Fans are noticing odd behaviors, strange interactions, and patterns that seem hard to explain. Other viewers have gone even further, suggesting that Chrisean may be using witchcraft to control the situation. One person claimed, "Yes, she did blood magic on him and worked with a witch. She's constantly using witchcraft on Blueface, Jaden, and his family, causing divisions. Chrisean is cursed, which is why people around her seem to end up in trouble." This theory paints a far more sinister picture, suggesting that Chrisean's actions are not just emotional or manipulative in the usual sense, but that she may be using supernatural methods to influence everyone around her. Fans who believe this point to the way conflicts seem to spiral out of control, the timing of events, and the repeated misfortunes that seem to follow people connected to her. These allegations, whether true or not, have stirred intense debate online. Some people treat the claims with skepticism, arguing that the entire story is blown out of proportion and fueled by social media gossip. Others, however, are convinced that there's something real happening, noting Chrisean's history of dramatic and unpredictable behavior. They point to incidents where her actions have seemed calculated or unusually intense, interpreting these moments as evidence of manipulation that goes beyond ordinary human influence. The fact that some of her public statements, live videos, and posts come across as cryptic or symbolic only adds fuel to these theories. The speculation has reached a point where the online conversation is no longer just about her relationship with Blueface. It's about the ripple effect her alleged actions could have on everyone connected to her. Fans are asking questions like, could her energy or intentions really be affecting Blueface and his family? And why do things always seem to go wrong around her? Some commenters argue that these patterns suggest the possibility of a curse or supernatural interference, especially when paired with the rumors of her dabbling in blood magic and voodoo. While no one can confirm these claims, the stories continue to circulate, making the drama feel larger than life and almost impossible to ignore. Amid all this speculation, the central question remains. Do you believe these allegations? Did Chrisean really use witchcraft on Blueface to make sure he wouldn't leave her? The story seems to grow more tangled with each new rumor, leaving fans to sift through fact, fiction, and everything in between. Social media has amplified the chaos, turning every post, comment, or live video into a potential piece of evidence, whether real or imagined. In the court of public opinion, every action is analyzed, every facial expression dissected, and every relationship milestone turned into a potential clue in this ongoing drama. Part of what makes this situation so fascinating to fans is how it blends real-world relationship issues with almost mythic, supernatural speculation. Ordinary breakups or conflicts can be intense, but when you add the possibility of witchcraft or curses, the story takes on a different dimension entirely. People are not just invested in who is right or wrong. They are fascinated by the how and why, and the layers of possible explanation make the situation endlessly discussable. Online discussions often veer into long threads filled with theories about rituals, spells, and the symbolic meaning of Chrisean's actions, which keeps the drama alive and constantly evolving. Ultimately, this situation raises broader questions about belief, perception, and human behavior. Fans are forced to ask themselves, how much of what we see online is real, and how much is shaped by imagination or narrative? Are Chrisean's actions truly extraordinary, or are they simply amplified by the lens of social media and public scrutiny? And most importantly, does it matter whether the allegations are true if the perception alone is strong enough to influence how people view her and Blueface? These questions add complexity to a story that might otherwise be dismissed as just another celebrity feud. Now, the conversation has become interactive, with fans being asked to weigh in directly. Social media posts and videos encourage viewers to share their opinions and theories. What do you think about Chrisean being called out for allegedly destroying these men with her witchcraft? And do you really think she did it to Blueface so he wouldn't leave her? These questions invite commentary, turning passive observers into active participants in the unfolding drama. It's no longer just about one person's actions. It's about collective curiosity, speculation, and the social phenomenon of gossip in the digital age. As the story continues to unfold, the speculation keeps the audience hooked. Rumors of witchcraft, alleged blood magic, and mysterious curses have created an ongoing narrative that captivates people's imaginations. Fans eagerly await every new video, live stream, or social media update, searching for clues that might confirm or debunk the wildest theories. And in the midst of it all, the question of truth remains elusive, ensuring that the story will continue to fuel discussions, debates for months to come. In the end, whether or not Chrisean actually practiced witchcraft on Blueface or anyone else may never be fully verified. But the fascination it has generated demonstrates just how compelling a mix of real-life drama and supernatural speculation can be. The story remains messy, chaotic, and unpredictable, a perfect storm for fans eager to analyze every detail. It's a modern tale of love, betrayal, and mystery, amplified by social media, and it shows no signs of slowing down.